Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Intelligent Podcast. I am your host, Mally, or Malarax, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to the podcast. You know what I mean? I'm very ill prepared right now. I don't have a lot of stuff set up like I was supposed to, and I know I missed last week. We'll talk about that, but I just want to say, how are you guys? How are all of you? I'm doing good. I know I just sat down to record this, but I forgot my phone, which has all of my notes on it. So if you guys don't mind, let me go up here and grab this real quick. All right, there we go. So how do you guys like it? You know, we're in my beautiful penthouse in Miami. I tend to just do some shit like this all the time just because Miami's my city. You know what I mean? I kind of claim Miami as my city. So let's just get straight into this, I guess. And yeah, you know, I got the old Miami penthouse back here. And that is the reason why I missed last week, because this was supposed to come in on time. Actually, it was supposed to get in way before. But the person who was supposed to go pick it up, I guess, what the fuck just happened? Hold on, wait. I just got a notification on my computer. Jesus, this whole thing's just falling apart, isn't it? But yeah, the person who was supposed to go pick this up left early from the place they were supposed to get it. So, you know, it's cool and all. So I decided to leave that place and head straight to Miami, you know. So that's kind of what we're doing now, I guess. So how have you guys been? I've been okay. I've been good. I've been waiting 2 weeks on this damn thing, actually. And I got it set up for a while. So yeah, this is just going to be a permanent thing. The couch may go. I don't know, because it's like not good. It's not a good couch at all, really. It's fucking shitty as hell. But you know, I sleep on it, so I do what I can. And I just want to talk about just what's been going on lately with me. What's been going on lately with you? And the first thing I want to get to is why I missed last week's episode. Now, last week's episode, that was gonna be the green screen episode. You know, the one where I had this shit already set up, but as I just explained, it got here late. You know what I mean? It got here very late. And I promised you guys it, and I know I said I would never miss a week, but I was just so unprepared, and the fact that the green screen wasn't even here, so I was like, you know, fuck it. Let's just take a week break, you know, because realistically I can do that right now because I'm not exactly like crazy popular at the moment, but we are steadily growing. So yeah, that's basically where I was last week, and that's why I missed basically. And I will make up for that. Because I am going to make this a longer episode than what I would typically do, like solo. So yeah, and I'm going to be taking a break in the middle of it, just as some people like to do. Except I'm not going to give you guys a sponsor read or anything like that, because I'm not sponsored yet, but that'll be coming up later in the pod, you know. It'll be coming up so much more later. And let's just talk about the elephant perhaps in the room. This is episode 16, I believe, of the Highly Intelligent Podcast. I believe episode 16. I deleted episode 14 of the Highly Intelligent Podcast. And you might be wondering why'd you do it? Well, if you saw it, which it was one of my most popular, but if you saw it, I didn't really like it myself, you know. I felt like it wasn't my podcast so much as I was just sitting there just doing bullshit, talking about straight up nothing, you know. It was supposed to be an interview with a guy, right? It was supposed to be an interview, but it just devolved into just anything, dude. It just devolved into random ass shit. The microphone quality was ass, and you know, I'm just not proud of it. I'm not very proud of it at all, actually. So if the thing is, I've recorded an interview with that dude 3 times, and I haven't left one up yet. You know what I mean? So, well, actually, there is the one where we're in the car together, but he wasn't even really a part of that. He just stuck in the back and was playing some bullshit game. So, sorry about that. If you really want your shit to be released, if you really want to be on here that badly, I can get you on maybe another day, you know, but I'm gonna have to structure it better, because the last time I was so unprepared, and I also had a surprise guest, which I wasn't prepared for, so all the questions I had for him, they were kind of like, I tried to ask him that And I asked him the questions, but there was another person there, so it was kind of awkward. It was like he was answering them too, and it's just, it was a whole thing. I decided to delete it, and and then the next week after that, I kind of talked about it a little bit, but I'll go like more into detail here. I'm not proud of it. I wouldn't keep anything up if I wasn't proud of it. Even though I know last podcast the audio was fucked up because I left the camera audio on, but hopefully we're not going to do that again. I definitely muted it this time. I even double checked on my end to see how everything is going. So everything supposedly is going pretty good, and microphone quality, hopefully that's good. Hopefully it's amazing. Hopefully it's to my standards, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's why I deleted the last one. Not the last one, but 14, because it's just terrible quality. I didn't like the interview itself, and I just felt like it wasn't my podcast. It didn't feel like me. It didn't really feel like what I would promote. You know what I mean? So I had to get rid of it. And also my headphones right here are wired, so they're like clanking on everything. It's super fucking annoying. I'm gonna put it under there so it doesn't do that. All right. Monster Energy. I know I said I would cut down on them, which I kind of did for the first week, but I'm back on them. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not a healthy habit, but it is a habit in general. And also, I just realized how loud my little laptop that I'm recording on is, because I'm not recording on my PC because my PC is doing something right now. It's uploading a video, so we're recording on my laptop. It's a little scuffed, but sometimes a podcast has to be scuffed. You know what I mean? And I know earlier I was talking about bringing in some sponsors here. There's no sponsor read, but I emailed a bunch of sponsors again. You guys remember that video on my old on my YouTube channel? It's probably about a year old by now, where I was just emailing every big company I could think of for some money, and how a few of them got back to me, but nobody really responded. Nobody really caved in. Yeah, I did that again. This time nobody responded, which is, sucks obviously, but what can you do, huh? What can you do? Sometimes you need that sponsor money, and sometimes you don't, which sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, is really what I was trying to say there. But I want it. I want the sponsor money. It would be nice to have, like, actual good equipment, because this couch, this ain't it, gang. Like, you see this, and, like, when I move, it's super duper loud. It's like, I gotta get to something else, So I was thinking more of a better setup here, or maybe just, if I was born with money, this shit would look a lot better. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm trying my best with the equipment I had at my disposal already, which sometimes you just kind of have to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just kind of have to roll with the punches, I guess, and see where life takes you, which is kind of what I'm doing now. So that's what I'm doing exactly. Actually, is just seeing wherever the hell my life fucking takes me. And if it takes me somewhere cool, that would be cool. If it doesn't take me anywhere, that's not gonna happen. I probably won't let that happen. I can't let that happen. Like, I don't know. I just can't let that happen. I can't allow myself to not do what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird, because, like, my definition of success has changed so much throughout the years. Before, it was like, oh, fucking make so much money, it's unbelievable, which, like, yeah. But now it's just like living on my own through my content creation is really my goal, which I've talked about before. But it's just kind of crazy how your perception of things can change like that so fast, Because especially since, like, maybe even just last year, that would have been my dream. But now it's like, well, just to live on my own with this shit is so almost far-fetched that it's my new goal, My new goal. And I guess bringing back Apex is also my goal. But they keep fucking that shit up, bro. They keep releasing those ass updates. Everybody's a cheater. It's crazy. It's crazy what be going on in Apex, dude. Fucking cheaters everywhere. But aside from the point, on Twitch, I said I was going to bring it back. You know how Jinxie brought back Siege and Clash Royale? I was thinking, well, why not be known for the guy who brings back Apex? Because that would be cool. Because I enjoy the game a lot, but there is a problem with cheaters for sure. On console, the statistics are 1 in every 3 people are probably cheating. Like it's more than that, I think, but it's like not exact, you know. So let's just say 1 out of 3. Like it's more than 1 out of 3, but it's not 1 out of 2. You know, it's not half the people, but it's not a third. It's more. So I don't. It's like there's no space for me to put in between this shit. You know what I mean? So like it's a problem. It is a problem. You know, I don't understand how they can just let that shit happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how they can just say, hey, you know, we don't give a fuck about the cheaters. Let's just make every character stronger. That'll fix the cheaters. It's like you're enabling them too, you know? Like, make everybody take more skill. And then I guess the hackers will still flourish because they're hacking for skills. But whatever, you know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, dude. And yeah, I just can't stand Apex, like the cheating aspects of it. And also, I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but I'll just get into it now. I'm getting into CSGO, CS2, I guess, Counter-Strike 2. I just uploaded my first stream to my Vods channel. Shout out my Vods channel, Malarax Vods. And I also streamed it live on Twitch at Malarax. No, not Twitch, TikTok, Jesus. I'm getting all my links confused. TikTok Live. I streamed on TikTok Live, and my first game I played, it was off stream because I just wanted to test out if my PC could run it, which it couldn't. I was playing deathmatch against this dude. I don't know if he was cheating, but it kind of seemed like he was. And then right as I hit first place, I got disconnected from the game. So, you know, there's a chance that game has a lot of cheaters too. I don't know, probably, honestly, because CSGO is kind of like, I don't expect CSGO to be the game that fixes cheaters, you know, especially since it's on Steam. Which, not to say anything's wrong with Steam, it's just, you know, I feel like I encounter more hackers on games on PC than anything else, which, you know, is cool sometimes, you know, to see a hacker, you know, except I've never gotten any of the good hackers that, like in GTA, how they give you like $1 billion. I've never gotten those guys before. I've only gotten the ones that like kick you from your internet and make your internet disconnect for like 5 hours. I've only ran into those ones, but I haven't ran into any cool hackers. But yeah, CS is kind of a problem. I've been getting into that. I'm going to stream more of that. It's just my PC is so ass, you know? Like, my PC is so fucking dog shit that I can't stream. Like, okay, for one thing, I can't play CS just without streaming anyways. I get disconnected, like, all the time. And 2, trying to stream CS and play at the same time, that's no, brother. We can't do that here. Not with my PC. No way. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. Even though I tried doing it, my webcam was super laggy. Audio did not match the webcam. My fucking game audio wasn't even on for some reason. Like, my TikTok like live shit just completely shit itself. PC, you know, the game, I got disconnected from a game. I left, and it's funny because I ended stream right as people were starting to like pour in. But it was like after 2 hours of me streaming, so it was like, well, I could keep going, but I'm getting really upset with this Wi-Fi shit because I was dying because of my Wi-Fi. I wasn't dying because I was just getting unlucky or else super terrible. People were teleporting in front of me and I was lagging. So really, what can you do about that? You know, I feel like any sane person would quit if they were at a disadvantage because of the technology. You know what I mean? But I'm obviously going to go back and stream some more of it. Having a better PC would be so much more convenient, bro. Like, I can't even imagine a world where I have a better one though, because it's like my PC it was bad since the day I bought it, but that's because it was at the highest point of the market almost ever when I bought my PC, and now that I desperately need a new one, it's at another all-time high. So it's like, what am I supposed to do, dude? I can't afford a PC back then, and I damn sure can't afford one now. You know, and you might be thinking, well, maybe if you get a real job, but yeah, nah, I think I'll stick to my PC. Dude. Fuck that shit. Nah, but for real, I would like a new one, but it's just kind of it's a drag. You know, life itself is a fucking piece of shit. So what can you do? Which I have a hard drive that was like supposed to help. It does help. Because the PC I have is like, the storage is taken up by so much just random fucking old bullshit that like I can't delete, or else the entire PC will just shit itself. So I have to keep that. And the like, what is it called? Like NVIDIA drivers or whatever the fuck. That shit's useless. Like, that shit doesn't help me at all. So, it kind of sucks. My PC is cooked, but I'm gonna have to start streaming with that shit, I guess, because I've been streaming with it. I just can't play on it. Like, I tried to play a Minecraft mod yesterday. That shit almost crashed so many times. Which, can I say, it's a Minecraft mod called Prime Piece, which is a One Piece mod, and they nerfed the fuck out of the devil fruits. I know this is like so off topic, but there's these devil fruits that you can eat and it gives you powers, right? And they used to be super destructive and do a lot of physical damage to like blocks and shit. Now it's like a hole that goes 5 feet down, like 5 blocks down. It's like, that's so disappointing, bro. Like, lock the fuck in. Like, why would they turn down the destruction in a game about like godlike powers? It's so weird, Which I'm not a fan of. I liked playing as a nail, like his devil fruit, and then just like destroying, just having craters around the map from using his giant like lightning ball shit. Which, sorry, I was checking to see if I have any more of that, but I don't. It was fun, but they nerfed it. I'm never gonna play that shit again, because like, what's the point? If you can't do a lot of damage and have fun, what the fuck is the point of playing a Minecraft mod? Like, it's so weird. It's like they took all the fun, just completely wiped it. So, and also hope you guys don't mind the people who are talking in my background. My dad's watching One Piece by himself as a grown-ass man, so that's something. And then also, there's somebody else here who I'll talk about later. I got into a heated argument with about my my whole streaming shit. Fuck it, I'll just talk about it now, just because like, it's not like you'll ever see this. So basically, nobody in my family supports me, maybe except for my mother. So that's cool. That's just kind of what I'm dealing with now, and they don't really have any respect for what I do, because I'm trying to make money, but as you can still hear, they're yapping, even when I ask them to calm down a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of a thing, I have to deal with, and I have to talk over, because I can hear them through the headphones right now, so I know you guys can hear them, which kind of sucks, but, can't really do anything about that. So, but essentially, nobody supports me. My life is almost going to come to an end soon, probably, just because if this don't go nowhere, I'm not going to do anything else with my life except for this. I've wanted to do this for so long now, and it's just like, what's the point of even just continuing to live your life if you can't do what you want? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I see it all. That's how I see my life. That's how I see everybody's life. I see people who work dead-end jobs. I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather just take a chance. I'd rather just take a chance in my life than confide to whatever the hell people want me to do, which is probably the realest shit ever. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm probably like, it's definitely fucking stupid that I'm doing it, but I might as well do it just because, like, there's no point not to. Like, if I fail, I wouldn't have been happy anyway. If I succeed, there you go. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my whole life thing right now. And there's like 50 people at my house right now, and like 4 of them aren't supposed to be here. So you know how it is. That's why my goal, as for right now, is to find a place of my own, so I can like do this without distraction in this my own way, just beautifully. You know what I mean? Just beautifully. It would be so cool to have like my own little spot. But you know how it is. You know how it is. I just can't. It's like, I look at myself and I look at the big streamers, and all the big streamers are very loud, very, like, I don't know how to put it. You know what I mean? They're just really loud. I can't do that here. I can't do that here. I'm also just not a very loud type of person. Like, I'm not really much of a yeller. Like, I used to be. But now it's like, like sometimes I'll play it up for stream, But it's just not who I really am, So I hope I can create like a new archetype for streamers, just the chill, real streamers, not the ones who put on a face, not the ones who put on a personality and shit. Hopefully maybe I can really start that, Even people might not find me entertaining, but I already have a few regulars on stream, so I feel like I definitely have the potential for whatever it needs to happen, I just feel like I can't think of a single YouTuber who took off because they themselves were good. Like, I'm thinking, like, Moist Critical, Jacksepticeye, like, everybody had somebody who shouted them out at one point, who, like, got a boost, like, a major, crazy, life-changing boost, you know? And so, not saying that I deserve it, but come on, I deserve it. Let's be honest. Nah, but, like, obviously, I want that shit to happen, but will it happen? I don't know, because my audience, like, TikTok short, like, no, YouTube Shorts is the biggest, like, my biggest platform by far. I don't know how, but it is. And that in Instagram used to be, but I don't really post on Instagram like that anymore. I keep my Instagram personal. Like, I want my Instagram to be like funny personal stuff, and have my TikTok be like my stream clips and shit. It's the same with my YouTube Shorts, but my YouTube Shorts average around like 1,000, 2,000 views. My TikToks average around 12 views. So, you know, there's quite a difference there, which is kind of annoying to deal with, as is everything else. But, you know, sometimes shit happens, you know. Sometimes it's just harder on some platforms, you know. In TikTok, I don't know. I feel like if I blow up on YouTube, not much will change. And I feel like if I blew up on TikTok, everything would change, because I stream there on TikTok. So, it's just hard. And Twitch, I'm never going to blow up on Twitch. That's why I don't stream on Twitch. Well, one, my PC can't handle streaming on Twitch. Two, it's just the audience. There's no audience on Twitch anymore. Like, you can't grow as a streamer on Twitch. So that's why I like TikTok so much, because it's, like, actually possible to gain an audience. And Twitch, it's like, yeah, you'll get a new viewer once every 2 weeks. He won't follow you, and it'll be a bot trying to plug his fucking digital arts program or some shit. That's how it was. I was streaming on Twitch for like 4 months. That's exactly how it was every single day I streamed that bitch. So yeah, TikTok is way better. You know, I have like an actual audience. I have some regular people that like I recognize, and it's going good, but I'm not patient. And as more time passes, more people start to doubt, more people start to give up. So it kind of makes my social life really hard and awkward, you know, because like nobody around me has ever seen this happen before. You know, nobody around me has the balls to do what they want to do, except for me, I guess, which is kind of weird. So, you know, I do what I can. I do what I can to try to make this shit work, you know, and I got a podcast, I got streaming, got a main channel, which still no main channel vids. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Still no main channel vids. But that's not really like a me thing. That's more of like, I got nothing going on thing, you know? Also, do you guys like how my arms have just been stretched out like this the whole time? Like, would it be cooler if it's like that? I don't know. This couch is not comfortable. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I appreciate it. Appreciate it as a gift. But, you know, sleeping on this bitch is tough. But I decided to switch my bed out for this, because I wanted a setup for my podcast, which I don't know if I've already talked about this, but yeah, got rid of the bed, got this thing because I wanted it to be a set for my podcast. I was like, yeah, I'll swap out the bed for this little thing right here, just because I want to take a chance on myself, you know? I want to take a chance, so that's what I did. And, you know, the podcast is going good. The views are kind of weird, because I average around 16 viewers on this podcast, which is good considering it has 9 subscribers. So, yeah. But it's kind of weird because my main channel, like, it has significantly more subscribers than anything else. And all the videos do poorly. The shorts do really good, but the videos do terribly. Which is kind of also why I stopped posting. Not because, like, oh, I only care about views, but it's like, you know, putting in all this effort, trying to have fun. It's cool and all, but when there isn't, like, when your work isn't paid off, it's really demeaning, you know? And so that's why I'm kind of just taking a step back and focusing on my Twitch stuff and my streaming stuff, my TikTok stuff, I meant to say, but because it's like actually rewarding, you know? Like, I like to think I'm entertaining, and a lot of people say I'm entertaining, which is nice, and all I want to do is entertain. And so why not just focus my efforts there if they're going to be appreciated, you know? Which is my whole thing. I just want to be like, I want someone to recognize that, like, I could be somebody. Which, I know what you're going to say. I'm somebody right now. But realistically, only like 4 people know I exist. Like, actually, only 4 people know I'm alive and moving at this very moment. which are just my friends and I guess my parents. So it would be like 6. But it's kind of weird. I would just like to show everybody that my dreams weren't far-fetched, and making fun of me was stupid because I'm gonna succeed. But obviously, I need to have that shit work first. You know what I mean? So that's why I got my podcast going here, and that's why I'm gonna do it. That's why I'm doing it, I guess. You know what I mean? So, but another thing I want to talk about is getting I didn't prepare for this, but I'm getting into the One Piece cards. I bought a few of them maybe like a year or 2 years ago. I didn't really like them, but I'm getting back into them now because I think some of them look kind of cool. Not all of them. I think a lot of them are just copy paste bullshit, but I do like some of them, and I am going to grab them for you guys. So hope you guys don't mind the dead air right now. I will be talking the entire time, don't worry, so it won't be like completely dead air. But yeah, let me go grab these for you guys real quick. Okay, hold on, wait, putting back the headphones. Alright, headphones are back on. Alright, so let me show y'all who I got. So these are my 2 favorite characters in the whole show. Not sure if you can see that. That's a Kaido card right there. That's Kaido, one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece. So, that's cool to have him. I don't really know if these guys are worth anything. To me, it doesn't really matter because I don't picture myself selling anything. But I actually am thinking about selling some of the Pokemon stuff, which I know I said I wouldn't do, but money's tight. Money's tight. What the fuck can I say? The streaming shit ain't for everybody. Streaming shit ain't for the weak-hearted. And here's my Ace, which Ace is my favorite character. So, you can't really see him all too well, but, he's there. So just take that into consideration. I am collecting One Piece cards. I like how some of them look. They're starting to be like picked up on by scalpers though. Like a lot of scalpers are starting to pick up on the fact that people want them, which has been a thing for a minute. But it's like I'm just now realizing that they know that. So it's kind of weird because it's getting almost as bad as Pokemon. Not quite as bad. Like shit isn't thousands of dollars yet, but it's gonna get to that point in like a year, probably like a year. It's gonna get to that fucking point. And if you hear my cats in the background, I'm sorry. I don't like my cats. I actually would never get a pet on my own if it was my choice. But the cats are there, and there's even a cat out on my porch right now that you can hear through my fucking walls and windows. Like it's crazy the amount of just distraction. Like it's crazy how my job is to have professional audio, professional video, and my webcam doesn't work half the time, and my audio is polluted by cats meowing and fans going off and shit. Life, man, life. But you do what you can, you provide, you give. I give everything. I have to you guys, and nobody respects me for it. But I try. If I could try. I definitely tried. This shit, like, it was like a 2-week thing. I set it up, made it all beautiful. Turns out the couch is what's fucking it up, dude. Like, look, like, not to point out anything wrong with the shit, but for my audio listeners, the top of the couch right here is just green from the reflection of the green screen. So it's kind of awkward, but what the fuck can you what can you do, gang? You actually can't do anything. Also, at the end of this whole ordeal, this whole pod, I will have a new theme song playing. A theme song that I made 100%. Same with the last one, but I was getting clowned on for the last one, so I'm gonna change it up, and I'm gonna release it when this one comes out, so you guys will be able to hear. It's only 25 seconds long, but how long does an outro need to be? You know what I mean? So 25 seconds is long enough, I'm pretty sure. So, like, I don't imagine myself. Ooh, I just realized I put on my bracelet wrong, and it's gonna be a bitch and a half to get off, dude. Holy shit. Fuck, I did. Damn, I clamped it the wrong way. I knew it felt weird in my hands. That's why I was fidgeting with it. No. You guys can't see, but there's a clamp here that needs to be, like, unclamped to take it off. And whenever it's upside down, it's, like, almost impossible to get off, like, actually. Damn. How the fuck am I gonna fix this? Alright. Damn, dude. Oh, it might actually be stuck on me for a minute. Hold on, I'm gonna try to finesse it off right now. You guys can't tell, but that you see that little part that's sticking up. Well, no, you can't. But there's a part right there that's sticking up. Right there. I don't know. No, you can't see it, but it's gonna be a bitch to get off. It's gonna be a bitch to get off, dude. Oh my god. That makes me angry. That genuinely makes me angry. I can't believe it, dude. I can't fucking believe that I clamped that shit the wrong way. And I made sure to look at it too. I made sure to be like, oh wait, it's the right way. But no, I guess it's not. Cool. Oh god. But let's get into some of the deeper shit in this podcast. I'm having doubts about my streaming, which is, as you guys know, my job, my main income source, my main anything, really, And I'm having doubts because I know I shouldn't compare my success to others, but everybody's success story happens at 19 or before, Like, except for Queso, that's it, And I look at all these people, all these streamers, and one thing I can see is they're loud, and I'm not a loud person. And then you have Moist Critical, but I don't, it's so weird. Like, I feel like me and Moist Critical do the same thing, but at the same time, it's like, well, I'm on TikTok, and I'm recording at, 720p. Everybody has these professional cameras. I mean, even Queso's first streams weren't as terrible looking as mine. I just can't do anything about it because my webcam is terrible, So it's like, I don't want to feel pity for myself, but I have doubts. And I just can't, I can think about them, but not while I'm live, because I don't like it to bring me down at all. Because it does bring me down a lot, just thinking none of this could work. I could be wasting my life while doing nothing. But it's weird for me to try and picture what my life would be like if it wasn't streaming or making YouTube videos. And I don't picture anything at all. Like, this has been what I imagined for 19 years, I guess. Like, I feel like ever since I was born, I've wanted to do this shit. Like, ever since I was born. It's weird. It's like, I can't imagine myself doing anything else except for this. And the fact that I'm having doubts about it just makes me feel like, well, if I am having doubts now, then I should just give up on everything, But obviously I'm not going to, and I don't want to. But it's like a serious thing that's going on in my head right now. And it is a problem, and I want to get better, but I don't know if I can. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the self-doubt will never go away or if it'll only go away once I succeed. But how will I know if I ever succeed? That's what I'm going through in my head right now. That's what's fucking with me. It's just my brain is just like, you can't make it. You're not cut out for it. It's like, I don't know. I want to think I am, though. But I don't, it's hard to picture me being successful. It's hard to picture me being successful. Like, I can picture myself being successful only if I looked so much differently. I don't see myself identically. I see, myself as a vision. I don't see myself IRL. It's kind of weird. And that fucks with me a lot. It's something I don't like at all that happens. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And with YouTube, I was like, well, you've been doing this shit for almost 3 years, and you're about to hit 400 subs. So what kind of shit is that? You know what I mean? 3 years and 400 subs, that's like, who does those numbers? Nobody. Fucking nobody's there, So that's why I feel like I'm there. I feel like I can't make it. But my heart tells me it's like, you have to, If you stop, your whole life gone, just like that. Everything you've ever wanted since you were a kid, gone, just like that. My entire purpose for wanting to do anything, gone. So I obviously can't give up. but my brain is like, it's fighting against me almost. It actually does feel like I can't do it sometimes, especially when I don't do very good on lives. It's like, well, I just spent 4 hours doing what? Doing what? Not entertaining anybody, not helping myself out in any way, just playing a video game. And it sucks, because I do have fun. It's just, I don't know how to describe it, I'm obviously never going to give up, but that's like lingering in my head, and I can't get that shit out. That shit is like stuck there, and I can't do anything about it. And I've never been able to. I've had shit like that happen all the time, where I just doubt myself. But in my life, I have been fairly lucky with stuff I wanted to do, except for financially. Financially, it's like nothing good has ever happened. I've never gotten good news a day in my life about anything financially, whether that be promotions or whether that be like donos or just fucking anything in general. I've never gotten a single I've never had good news that was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so happy about this. I can't picture one, I can't. The only news I've had in my life even is like, oh, you're too poor to live in Key West anymore, so you have to move to the middle of nowhere, Georgia, where you don't know anybody. You have to make new friends, which I never really did, So it's like, at what point does the news get better in my life, So that's always weighing on my mind. And, you can try to turn to God and try to make you happier, but I've attempted a lot of stuff like that. And it seems just at the end of the day, like, it'll help for a little bit, Listen to these fucking guys out here. It'll help for a little bit, but I just feel like there's no truth in it. Like, I would love to have faith that somebody died and came back to life. I would love to think that somebody could walk on water. But the real person in me is like, I don't get it. I don't believe it, As much as I really, really want to and try to trick myself into, that doubt is just always there no matter what. Even if I'm like, feel like I'm doing good with like the religious stuff, there's always that shit in the back of my mind. Like, I'm just tricking myself into thinking this because there's no way in hell, And like, I will admit, I've had some weird ass shit happen after I've like prayed, Like, I've had some very, like, it's too much of a coincidence to be a coincidence. You know what I mean? Like, I have experienced that. So that's where like 90% of my faith comes from. Because it's like, that shit happened, That shit definitely fucking happened. But nowadays, it's like, well, I feel like, shouldn't it be getting better? Like, shouldn't it be getting better? I haven't, nothing's really changed since, let's say, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, whatever. Nothing's really changed. And I feel kind of like, if it does change, it'll only change for the worse. Because I don't see a world where anything helps me out in this lifetime. And as much as I would want it to, Like, the little stuff, sure. But, like, life-changing stuff, nothing in my life that was life-changing has ever been good. Like, I've never been blessed with, like, amazing shit. Which, I get, that's not the whole reason why you pray, right? Like, you don't pray for things, which I still do. It doesn't work, by the way. Well, sometimes, there's the other thing where it's like, I've prayed for donations on TikTok. And I feel like most of the time it works, But on the other hand, it's like, what about something major in my life? Like, all the small things, sure, but like, every time I've prayed about something major in my life, nothing happens. And it's been years. It's just, that's where the doubts also come in. It's like, the things that are really important to me, that shit never happens. It's like the small stuff. It's like, Obviously, being like having someone donate $1 is not small to me. That's like major, right? But when I'm talking about like life-changing stuff, or like let's say even love, that's it's just nothing. It's just straight up nothing. Nothing ever comes from that. Prayer, I guess, because that's what it is. Which, again, I understand not everything is going to come true, right? That's what they say. But it's like, why go for the small stuff? Like, so this seems like the small stuff I pray for does come true, but is that just because of my hard work, or is that because there's somebody looking out for me? I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about a lot of shit. And so when I pray for that, like, I feel like every time I pray for something major, that automatically discounts it. It'll never happen. So like, I've prayed for love and I prayed for success. I feel like those two will never happen just because there's somebody out there holding a grudge on me. Not to say that God hates me, but I feel like as of recently, there's no love. That's what I'll say about that. And it's kind of weird to say this because I'm probably going to be attacked by every Christian there is, because that's just how most people in religion are. They're very defensive, and only a small few of them are like actually accepting, I feel like. Which, not to make fun of anybody, not to go against anybody, but that's just what I feel like. That's just what I've experienced. You know what I mean? From my own personal experiences. So it's kind of weird. That's basically the rundown of that. It's basically the rundown of the doubts and the prayers for the success and the never happening stuff. But we can get over that for now. On to the next topic here. I know that one was kind of deep. Let me lighten it up a little bit. Let me find one that's good. Obviously. Well, I mean, I guess I can talk about this one. This one's not really as dark, but it's also not lighthearted. I believe in pursuing my dreams over anything else, right? And I've talked about this in a video that I deleted just because I think things got too personal. But since this is a podcast and I'm kind of small right now, probably not a lot of people will hear this. Unless in the future, y'all decide that this shit's fire, which, go ahead, dude, because this shit is fire, bro. You're not getting this kind of dialogue anywhere else. So. But I feel like the only reason why somebody should live is to pursue their dreams, especially for me. Everybody wants me to live for something that they want to live for, like everybody's like, oh, well, why don't you go out and go and do something with your life? It's like, I am. It's just not how you envision somebody doing it. Because I've been wanting to do this for a while. Everyone in my family knows I've been making YouTube videos for years and years and years, probably like 10, 11 years by now, just on and off. Not some more professional than others. So I'm fighting for this dream, right? So I'm fighting for this, and people just don't see it. They're like, well, why don't you go and do something real? And it's like, how the fuck can you say that if I'm putting in the hours and I'm putting in the effort and I have dreams and visions of what I want to do and I'm being driven creatively, It's like, how can you say that? Like, just like, money is not my only goal. Money is not my only goal. I want to do what I want to do, Like, sure, I can go and fucking sell cars, or I can go and be a farmer or whatever the fuck. Go and be a fucking, who gives a fuck, you know what I mean? But that's not what I want to do. And if I don't want to do it, then why would I do it? I don't think that I'm alive to do what other people want to do. I'm alive for me, So I'm going to do what I want to do. And if it doesn't work out, then, it doesn't work out. And I don't like to think that way just because I don't like to jinx it. I obviously hope this shit works out. I obviously do, all this effort. I mean, imagine if I recorded one of these for a week, every week for who knows how long. It just never worked out. That wouldn't be all right, dude. That's like I don't know. I feel like I am bound for something, you know? Because all this work has to be meaningful. I can't put in all this effort just for it not to work. You know, like, I don't have another choice. I've already fucked up my life. I already chose this as my path, you know? And so there's no other way for me to live except for the way I want to. And if somebody forces me to, then I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to do everything my way. And if people don't like it, then they can not like it. And if people want to do something about it, they can. But nothing will stop me. You know, nothing will force me to do anything. Like, nobody can stop me from making this shit. Nobody can stop me from creating videos or streaming because I want to do it. This is my shit. You know what I mean? This is my whole creative experience. A lot of people draw. I make videos. I record podcasts. I live stream. I like to entertain, as I said. You know, I like being funny. And, you know, I just got to wait till somebody recognizes me for that. Yeah, you know? And what I mean by that is I'm waiting for someone to recognize that I can do it. You know, I'm waiting for some big guy, a lot of following, I guess. I don't know. It just feels like doing it on my own is so far-fetched. But I don't know. If Queso can do it, maybe I can do it. Sometimes I feel like I lack charisma. Like, I feel like I can be funny. I just feel like when I'm on stream, my whole personality drains away for some reason. But, like, that's not, like, nothing physically happens. It's just, I just feel like I can't do it sometimes. But I know I can. It's just like a headspace thing. But that's why I got to keep on going to see. Because if I give up now, all the money I've spent on this shit, all the videos I've made, all the production, all the memories will all be realistic. It'll all be for nothing. I can't just give up. You know, I can't just go out and get a job working as some bullshit for the rest of my life. That's not how you should live. You should live doing what you want to do. You should live how you believe you should, not based on how others think you should. And so that's why I'm a bum at my parents' house right now. Or at least that's what everybody sees and that's what everybody tells me. You know, but that's what I'm doing. Because that's how I need to live for my dream to come true. So that's that, dude. So yeah, don't live for others. Wisdom. That's wisdom right there. I'm 19. I'm the most wise motherfucker there is, dude. Gandhi don't got shit on me. Also, I'm pretty sure Gandhi was doing some weird shit, by the way. I'm not sure if that's true, but I heard some weird-ass rumors about that dude. I know he won, like, a Nobel Peace Prize, but I heard he was... I won't get into it. Okay. Let's talk about this. This one's alright. So, on TikTok, there's this page of... Hold on, wait. I gotta fix that. It's gonna piss me off for, like, a long time. All right, there you go. So on TikTok, I saw this person who was in college. She was in college, and she made a video. God, this video pissed me off so much. I like crashed out after I saw it, just because I was like, "Damn, what the fuck?" She was like, "If everybody who watched this donated to me $1, I wouldn't have to drop out of college." And then there were people in the comments talking about I donated 100, I donated 5, I donated 400. And I checked her profile. She never made a follow-up video. And it appears that she's still in college. So I think she never even needed the money in the first place. And yet people sent her that money. So she just made bank off a random fucking video begging for money. And I was thinking to myself, why can't I allow myself to do that? You know, like how fucking shameful would it be if you posted that shit and you didn't even need money? Because that bitch didn't need money. She didn't make a follow-up video. She's still in college. You know? She never needed the money in the first place. And I'm just thinking, like, why can't I allow myself to post some bullshit like that? Like, I obviously had the sleep stream where it was like notifications are on, right? But at least that way, when a loud noise plays, I wake up, I talk about some bullshit, I freak out a little bit. It's entertaining. It's like, it's still entertainment. She just posted a video begging and she got money. Like, I provide entertainment at least, right? Which, I was thinking, why don't I just do it? But I just can't allow myself to beg for money without putting something forward, you know? It seems shameful. It seems like, where's your pride, you know? Like, I'm fucking Vegeta at this point, you know? Where the fuck is your pride, bro? It's like, my pride wouldn't let me do that. You know, I feel like I have to do something to earn that. I feel like I have to be entertaining. I feel like I have to be a good streamer, post some good clips, record a good podcast to make money. Not beg on TikTok. If everybody gives me $1, I wouldn't have to drop out of college. You didn't need to drop out of college in the first place. Like, you had the money. I'm sure you did. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You didn't make a follow-up video. You didn't thank anybody. You know? It's just crazy to me how some shit like that can actually happen. How people can post some shit like that. And they'll be perfectly fine. There's be like, yeah, whatever, you know, I fucking took money from these people who thought I needed to drop out, but I didn't really. Now I'm $1,000 richer. What the fuck, dude? I just don't. It's just shameful, man. It's just fucking shameful. It's like, how can you do that? I'm just like, dude, come on. And then half of me is like, I want to do it, but the other half of me is like, that's so fucking shameful, bro. Like, you just can't do that. You just can't beg people for money and lie about the reason and never thank them. Like, come on. Maybe I just caught her too early, you know? Even though it was like 15 posts from her most recent one. It was like, maybe I just got her too early. Maybe she just didn't know that her video blew up and she made a shit ton of money. You know, maybe to give her the benefit of the doubt, she made one and I just didn't see it. I checked, though. So it's just crazy. And I'm not trying to make this shit like I'm a fucking like god saint who's like would never do that to people, which I wouldn't obviously take money from people on a lie. Also, sorry for that shit, but it's like, come on. People fall for that shit too. And I made a video about another dude doing it. He was just like, I just want a PS5, y'all. Can y'all send me some money? I want a PS5. It's like, bro, I know this is so ironic coming from the YouTuber and streamer who I am, but get a job, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, I work for my money, you know? It might not be a lot, but I work for it. You can too, dog. And if you had a real job, it would be a lot easier to buy PS5 if you were working my job. You know? So don't beg people on TikTok for fucking money. Like, have some shame. Have some pride, bro. Talk to Vegeta. Talk to me. Like, don't. It's so annoying. Because he made that money, dude. He made that money. He had 1.4. He had like 1 million views on that video. 100,000 likes. And I remember that. And I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is not fair. Like, I know life isn't fair, but it's just like, if I made one of those videos, which I wouldn't, but if I made one of those, I wouldn't make shit. I just know I wouldn't. And for them to do it, and also the only reason, like, don't think that if I could make money, I would do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't beg for fucking money. And I made a video asking for followers as like a little trap thing. It wasn't a trap. It was just to see if it would work. And I made a video on it too. It didn't work, by the way. But it wasn't asking for money. It was people to sub to me, which I think I got like 2 subs from it. And I made a video on it. It's been deleted, but it was for content. You know, everything I do is for content. Everything I do is for production and entertainment. Asking and begging people for money in a PS5 is like, what the fuck, dude? Like, come on. It's so stupid, you know? And I also do, every time I see that shit, it does feel like a personal attack. It's like, how are people falling for this when I don't know. I don't want to make it seem like I'm glazing myself here, but I feel like I'm pretty funny sometimes. I feel like I am a pretty good streamer sometimes, you know? And it's rewarding. You know, I have a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. I have some people in my chat. You know, I have some followers who are regulars, which are very nice. I love that shit. That's like the whole reason, you know? But not to say that not to say that it's all about the money, but I would like some, you know, just to get my family off my ass, you know, just to stop people from fucking with me. But, like, if they made those videos... Okay, where am I going with this? where am I going with this? Because this is like I'm talking right now, and I need to like actually lock in, or else I could say something that like could make me look weird. I put in effort, you know, so I feel like not that I deserve money, but I feel like I deserve it more than the people who are begging for it on TikTok, not providing any source of entertainment or content. You know, that's how I feel. I feel like I deserve it more than them. Which I know I shouldn't say I deserve money, but this time I feel like it's different, you know? This time I feel like, well, to them who are just begging for it versus me who's trying their best to provide. Like, you might not find me funny. You might not think that I provide content, but I think I do, you know? And so that's another thing. I know this is a very, like, weird and emotional podcast. It's more like a super rant, but then again, podcasts can be whatever the fuck you want them to be. You know what I mean? Like, if I want this to be my emotional dumping grounds, as idols would say, fuck it. You know? No point not to. So, there's that. Which, you know, I just can't wait till the day that I can prove everybody wrong. And I look at all these other streamers and I'm like, come on, bro. I'm better than them. But then they have more viewers than me. It's like, okay, well, you know, this is upsetting. Like, this is so bad to say, but whenever there's another live streamer on my For You page, not on my Malarax account, but on my personal, I blocked them. I blocked that. I don't want to see that shit. I'm like, dude, I'm the only streamer alive. Nobody else streams. Because I just hate seeing it. Like, everybody tells me not to compare your success to others, but I just can't stop myself. And so when I see another streamer with like more than 2 viewers, I'm like, nah, block this motherfucker, bro. Block this motherfucker. I don't want to see this shit. And it's bad, but you know, I don't block my Malarax account because I don't want to block nobody. I actually did ban somebody though. My first ban ever. I banned somebody because he was talking about I don't know if I can say it. Epstein stuff. That's what I'll say. It's not like not himself, but the stuff he did. Like, it doesn't involve him, but just that kind of stuff. It was weird. I blocked him. I was just like, I don't need that shit in my chat. Even though nobody else is talking in my chat, I'd rather have nobody than that. So I banned them, you know? It's a weird-ass people on TikTok, I guess. And they're all children, probably. So it's like, they think it's funny, but it's kind of fucked up, you know? So I just don't want that in my community, I guess. Don't want that in my presence. So, you know, I tried to avoid that as much as I can. So I try my best, you know, I try my best. And actually, looking at the time, it is time for us to take a break. Actually, I know this is so weird. A break, you're saying? Not ending the podcast, but no, a break. So I'll see you guys at the end of the break. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm back from the break. It was a nice little, it was a short break, but it was a break nonetheless, you know? So kind of needed it. We're going to start doing breaks now. Instead of just ending the podcast when I'm getting tired, we're going to do breaks because breaks are needed. Breaks are everything. So, next topic I have is just about who inspired me to start my own podcast, really, and what podcasts I listen to kind of actively. And let's just say the first podcast I ever watched was the H3 podcast, actually, which kind of is what the inspiration behind me is. I kind of got the inspiration for the green screen from him just because I was like, I didn't know podcast people could use green screens, and now they are, you know, and he's pretty popular. So, you know, I decided to get one, and I was watching him a long time. Like, I have like an iPhone 6 that's called H3 is God. Like, that's iPhone 6, and I'm 19. So that's how young I was watching him. So that's kind of fun, I guess. I've been watching him for a while. I liked his podcast at the beginning. I feel like nowadays it's not as funny as it used to be. I feel like there isn't as much humor, I guess. It's more just drama, which is a direction a lot of podcasts go. So that's why I keep this non-political, maybe the non-drama will go away eventually once there's something to actually be like talking about, like actual drama, like that I'm involved in. But aside from that, I'm going to keep politics away from this mainly. You know what I mean? Which is also one of the reasons why I deleted episode 14, just because it's not that anything I said I disagreed with. It's just I don't want this to be littered with podcasts, like with political stuff. So I try not to talk about it at all, really. But with the H3 podcast, it seems like that's a lot of what they talk about now, is political stuff. And I'm not a political person because it doesn't really affect me. And I know a lot of people say, like, it'll always affect you, you dumbass. Don't say that. But I create videos online and I live with my parents. So, it's like, it doesn't affect me, really. I'm not going to get a job again, probably. And if I do, maybe I'll give a fuck about it. But, yeah, I don't have to right now. So I'm non-political at the moment. But my favorite era of H3 podcasting is probably... It was probably like right. It was when Ethan, the main host, was probably at his biggest. Like when he was like gray hair, but like he was fat, like pretty fat. That's I just find him to be the funniest in that era. Back when he was doing shit with like a prime example is when Brooke Broski, I think is her name was on the pod, or like Tana Mongeau, or however you say it. Back when they were like on there, I feel like that. Or like, okay, Brick Wall Ethan. White Brick Wall Ethan is my favorite. That, for the people who watched the podcast, that was my favorite time period, just because they were like doing activities and shit and like some fun stuff that wasn't really like podcasting, but it was still entertaining, And I know they have some stuff like that recently, like they did the can you cut it even trend, I guess, which it's not really recently, but that's like more recent than what I like to watch. Even though I do watch a lot of the new stuff, like I watch all the iDubbbz drama they got going on, which I think is entertaining. But, at the end of the day, it's another podcaster's drama. It's not mine, so I probably shouldn't go into it too much. And then another podcast I like to watch. Hold on, wait. All right, I'm good. Another podcast I like to watch is Cold Ones, Max Mofo, Anything for Views, all their whole crew. So they're entertaining to watch for sure. It's just, I started watching their videos again after like not doing it, and I kind of realized how much of like, I don't want to say nerds, because like that, you could say I'm like I'm like a nerd, but like, he'd be talking about World of Warcraft a little too much, which, I was kind of thinking about getting into, but I'm like, I don't know, it's just like that look, like I don't want people to like I play CS, I play Apex, Fortnite, whatever the fuck. I feel like World of Warcraft to be taking it too far, But they're still one of my favorite podcasts, just because they're like funny and entertaining. The drinking is obviously fun to watch, and I was joking about the nerdy stuff. Like I don't care that much about it. It's just I don't give a fuck about World of Warcraft. So anytime they talk about it, I'm just like, okay, next little bit, please. It's the same with their videos too, but. Yeah, they're my favorite. They have a lot of good guests too, and drinking with the guests, and it's entertaining to watch. I hope mine can one day be like that, because right now it's just a bunch of emotions poured out onto a table. There's no structure. There's no real guests. The guests are my friends, who are also content creators, even though one of them has 16 subscribers. So it's like, not really. You know what I mean? 16 subscribers and 3 videos. So it's like one of them can call themselves a content creator, and the other one makes beats. I'm not sure if I would call them a content creator. I'd say they're more of a producer. I'm like the only content creator in D-Hell, which I don't know if I've ever explained D-Hell on a podcast before, but it's basically my group of people. There's four members of D-Hell, and now that FaZe is gone, now that FaZe is like over with, D-Hell is going up. D-Hell is going to go up. D-Hell is going to become the new FaZe. It's not really like a gaming group so much as it is like a creation group, because I don't want to say content creator because only 2 of us make videos. One of them makes beats and the other doesn't even have a YouTube channel. So, I mean, I don't know if I've talked about this. I definitely have on stream. I don't know if I have on a podcast. So I don't know if I've talked about how some of us can't really be counted as content creators, but whatever, But yeah, once D-Hell takes off, that would be cool. It's just once D-Hell starts being profitable, I'm wondering how the profits are going to split. Because there's 4 people, so technically it should split evenly, but I feel like there's a personality in the group that feels like they'd be entitled to more, which You can't have that if you have a group. That's what destroys groups. So that's kind of what I'm concerned of when D-Hell takes off. But we'll have to deal with that when that time comes. So I just pray. Right. Okay. Okay. So in the future, if anybody's looking back in the past at before D-Hell was popular and before I was popular, if D-Hell ever goes down, I'm predicting that it's going to be because of money and not being split evenly. Because someone's more entitled to it than others, they feel like. Which is already something that we've been talking about just like before, like now even. So if we're talking about it now, it's not going to be good for the future. And I am scared about that. I am scared about that. So, it's just something like I would never want to destroy the group, but that's like, I feel like that shit is bound to happen, bro. I feel like, like there's like a lot of people in my group tend to like money more than a lot of other stuff. So I'm kind of worried about that. Not to say that I hate the guys. It's just, I know at least two of them talk about money a lot. And so that concerns me. It does concern me. It puts a frown on my face to think that is how the whole shit could come to an end. Also, I'm not touching myself. I'm trying to get the bracelet off. I don't think I can do it on my own, which sucks. But it's what I get for not paying attention, I guess. But yeah, money splitting. I mean, we're so far away from making money right now. D-Hell doesn't even have an official YouTube channel yet. But when it does, and when it does start to make money, that's not going to be good. I'm telling y'all, that shit is not going to be good. Like, I'd be down to split it evenly, even if I end up doing most of the work, which I'm pretty sure I would be. I just don't see that ending good. I don't see the profit splits ending well. I feel like somebody's going to be like, well, that motherfucker fucking, he doesn't do anything. Give him less, give me more. And it's like, oh, God, I knew we were going to get into this eventually. Fuck. So I'm scared of that happening. I am scared of that happening, as I've said. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully everybody can not step on each other's toes, and hopefully everybody can understand that if we in order to keep this shit going, no matter what, we have to split it like evenly, like down to the cents type shit. Because if not, that's the end. That's how a lot of shit ends. And we need to do like, okay, let me talk about this. If I'm going to be a part of a group, which this was supposed to be a topic that I forgot to talk about earlier. If we're doing sponsors, I'm not promoting certain stuff, right? And this is just like a me general thing, which I'm pretty sure I've already talked about, maybe on stream, maybe a podcast, I don't know. Okay, listen guys, I don't play in these very well. Pornography, I don't think I'm ever gonna sit, unless I start doing OnlyFans, I'm probably never gonna promote that. And then gambling, I'm never gonna promote it. Well, definitely the gambling. And if my group decides to, I think that'll be when I walk out, because I don't want to promote that to anybody. I don't think that's like amazing. Even though I have a video on that's still up actually, which is one of the few videos that are still up of me gambling in Red Dead, but that's not me promoting it. That's me just having fun. I don't condone it at all whatsoever, and I end up shooting the people at the end anyway. So it's like kind of a moral lesson there. Gamble and you get shot, I guess. But I won't end up promoting gambling, and if I do, you can tell it to my face that I lost myself, because I would never, right now, as like my person, I would never promote gambling just because of what's happened in my lifetime, So I'm never going to promote that in porn as well. I'm never going to promote also because of what has happened in my lifetime. So yeah, those are two things that if the group starts to promote, I'm out of there. There could be a few other things too. Like I think getting a house, like a content house, as much as it would be like cool, I feel like it would definitely go downhill. Because there already basically is a content house, which is just the apartment. We all live there, even though I lived on the couch. Like, my life was just shit, dude. I lived on the couch, and there was hella beef there. And that wasn't even, like, we weren't even a group yet. And we were just all chilling at the same apartment. And it was just a mess. And there's still a lot of drama going on. So it's like, I don't know if living together is the right call here. And there's the mess as well. You know, like I can be messy sometimes. At the end of the day, I clean that shit up. Sometimes a lot of these people be crazy, dude. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these people don't be as hygienic as I feel like they should be. And dishes were also a problem. So I feel like getting a place on our own would result in nothing but just nastiness and bullshit. You know what I mean? Just straight up fucking disgustingness. That's why I want to live my own, because I know I can keep my shit clean. Even though my room's kind of dirty, but that's just because I got really angry one day because I was doubting myself and everything I stand for. And so I was throwing stuff around the room, which I'll pick it up eventually, probably. I destroyed a lot of Pokemon cards, though. I don't know why. I think I had a box and I threw it down and they scattered everywhere, which I can't show, obviously, because I don't want to like ruin the green screen or anything, but you know, that's how it is sometimes. That's how it be. And that's just the way it is. My anger kind of has been coming back, but I've been suppressing it. It's just technology. When technology fucks up, that's when I fuck up. That's when I get angry. It's like, come on, you're supposed to be like the future. Well, not my PC. My PC is like representative of fucking 2010, dude. I have an HP computer. Nobody buy from there. Nobody buy from HP. Unless they want to give me money. In that case, buy from HP. You know? But aside from that, don't buy from HP. Yeah, it's so bad, my computer. I can't play CS without streaming. And then trying to stream it is like, fuck. You know what I mean? It's just so painful. So annoying. It's just like, why, dude? Why? It's like I shouldn't have to fucking want to hurt myself just because my game lags, but my anger does that shit to me. It's like, God, why? Why me? And then, well, basically everything in my life is basically like, why me? But when it comes to my PC, I get like an angry why me, you know? So it's like I break shit a lot, but hopefully I can suppress that soon or in the future. I mean, I might have already have again. It's just I have my moments sometimes, you know? Nobody's ever seen me angry. But it happens. You know, it happens. Like, you guys will never see me cooked. You guys will never see me, like, on stream, I might, like, stop streaming because I lost a game, but I'm not, like, for reals angry. I probably just wanted to end stream anyway. But I get angry. And you guys have never seen it. Nobody has. But it's not cool. Like, I remember back when I was streaming 7 months ago, back when I was mainly a Siege and Terraria streamer, which is kind of a weird mix. I broke a monitor because my Wi-Fi kept disconnecting me from Siege, and I ended stream. And it's not this mouse, but I threw a mouse at my monitor and it broke. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to regret this tomorrow. I know I am. But for now, I'm going to beat the shit out of this monitor. And I did. I beat the shit out of that monitor, and I regretted it the next day. Also, I'm going to switch this to green right here. Look at that. Does that look cool? You can barely even really tell. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. But yeah, again, it's like my anger, it gets a hold of me sometimes, you know? It gets a hold of me and it never lets go. It's always there. It might loosen its grip, but it never lets go. So it's always there, which sucks. But I've learned to suppress it, especially within the past year or two. So, because I don't know if I can talk about that, but it was right after my first day as a senior. I came in my room and I destroyed everything. I broke my chair. I had to fix my chair. I had to fix my TV or buy a new TV, like everything, you know? And then I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm dropping out, or I'm going to get sent to an alternative school. And so I ended up not going to school for a month, and then I got sent to an alternative school, and then I graduated like 6 months before everybody else did. So life works out for me, but like only whenever I'm like it's not even good shit. Like, okay, I graduated from an alternative school. That's not better than graduating from a high school, you know? Again, it's like nothing good has happened in my life. Like, I haven't gotten any good news. It's just, you know, sometimes you try, and sometimes you just won't succeed. You know, sometimes I just can't think like that. I can't think like that, you know. It's just so annoying. But yeah, I get angry, and my anger comes out on stream, and I break shit. it's not good. It's not a good thing that happens. I'm shameful of it, actually. I'd be telling people about it. It's like, fuck, I sound like a weirdo, you know? Because I used to get mad at shit. I've gone through like 50 controllers probably. Like since I was a kid, probably 50. Like anytime any of them would fuck up once, I would fucking smash it against my wall or on the ground. And then headsets, I would just go shoo, snap them in half. I did it with a really expensive Overwatch headset. That was like $200. Still regret it to this day, dude. Still fucking regret it to this day because they were big, they were comfortable. Like fuck, I regret this shit, dude. I wish I still had those. And now I don't have the money to buy them. So, well, I do actually. I've saved all my streamer money. All my money is locked up safely because I can't spend it. So, you know, all my streamer money's still there. But maybe one day I'll invest into something towards the setup. Maybe a better capture card. But the one I want, the one that records 180, 60 FPS, or maybe even like 144 hertz, is like $300. Plus, the one that records game chat is like another 300. So, it's super annoying. My whole setup is going to cost so much. And I'm not getting any recognition, unfortunately. But, you know, that's how it is. And that's how it is with the podcast, too. I don't know. I feel like it's entertaining. And I know complaining about it doesn't make it seem any better. But, guys, this is my emotional dumping ground, okay? This is my emotional dumping ground. But with that being said, and I know I kind of just came back from the break, but, you know, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys in the next podcast. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow if you're watching this on TikTok, or I'm not going to clip this, so you won't be watching this on TikTok, but make sure to go follow my TikTok because I stream every single day on there, or almost every single day. I probably miss like a day out of the week, and I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys like my new apartment in Miami. I'll see you guys next time.